Cody, go back. Good! Good dog! That is a good dog!
Hillbilly girl, just as sweet as wine.
Go back. Good. Go back. Go back. Good dog!
Like a muscadine. Said you get a little touch of that Holy Ghost.
Cody, go back. Good dog!
Catfish head
Good. Good girl. That's a good girl. Oh, good. Good. Did. Good dog. Good dog. Real fun. Good. So we're back. We've got Cody and Tom in last, I don't know what it was. Was it last Friday? Thursday or Friday?
I think Thursday.
Was it?
Thursday.
Was that long ago? And today is Wednesday? So it's been a few days. I do think it's a good thing. I think she needed the mental recharge. But we worked stuff with Tom and Cody, and really what my takeaway from it is the importance and the value of just handing off and her getting to understand his mannerisms, his tone. I need to get him to try to replicate it as close as possible, but it's never going to be identical. So we need to get her to understand what it is, what it looks like and sounds like when he's asking her to do what I asked her to do. So it's just transferring new handler. So we're going to continue to remain pretty simple with it. We're going to work on backs first, because I'm basically going to replicate the process of me working her into these things for the first time. Only we're going to go back to that square one, and we're just going to plug Tom into it. And so back was the first thing we did. If you look back on the series of videos, it was in my driveway, it was pitching over the top of her head, and it was sending her back. So we're gonna do that, and what I think we can do is I think we can replicate the process that took 45 days and shrink it down, because now it's not teaching her something new, it's teaching her to understand when he asks of it. So let's bring her on, get her into heel position. Tom, you bring her to heel, and let's do it. We'll see how we do here. I do want to switch directions, hopefully. I want to send her down that way, and I want to send her down this way. I don't think it needs to be long distance. The objective right now is not distance and extending. So for our sake of setup times and just because we only have so long to work with her, we're not going to extend it real long. But let's start over. Let's heel up to this spot. And basically it's the same spot we were last week. And I'm going to do it because I want to be in the shade. Because I want her to be able to come back into the shade. It's not warm out, but it's 65, pushing 70 probably right now. Let's stay right here. And the little bit of temperature does have an effect on the dog and us. So why don't you start out, Tom, going down to that corner, put her on heel her out. And then what we're gonna do is when you get down there, drop 2 dummies. And then say no heel, and then heel her back. So we're just going to set this up as a simple trailing memory. And he's got feathered fire hose bumpers. Now have your whistle in your mouth, and then give her a whistle blast and have her sit. And then keep walking. Now let's see how she does with this. It's going to be your routine, so we're going a little bit ahead of where we would have. Normally we would have had her sit, we'd have thrown the dummy over, and then we'd have sent her back. We're just going to skip that part and see how she goes. But it's going to be right hand up or left hand up, whichever one you want. Whistle blast at the same time. Pause. Come down slightly.
Go back.
Now you got to get
Good girl.
You got to get body language into it too, because at a distance she's not going to hear you. So what we really want to do is we want her to get both the visual and the sound part, because if she's way over there on the other edge, she's not going to hear you say go back, and I don't want you to have to bell her go back. I want you to be able to go back. And see the visual part. So now what I want you to do is, let's heel her back out to about that same spot, turn around, face me, have her sit, and then come back to me again. And we're gonna send her for the second one. So this time it's your hand, your whistle, pause, 1001, 1002, and really start to pay attention to kind of how she responds. If it's her mouth, if it's her ears, get her to focus, look at you, time it out so you know you have her, and then you give her the command back and do it both with your hand and with your verbal.
Cody, go wet.
Good.
Good girl.
Good.
Good girl. Good girl.
Good.
Good girl.
Good.
Yeah.
Real good. Probably don't need to, you can cut out the Cody part. Just go back. Go back. Just get in that habit of simplifying it until you need to, because you're gonna, at some point you might have to add to it. You might have to get her attention. Cody, go back. So try to save that for when you really need it. Okay, so now let's do this. Let's set up down that way. Do the same thing.
Yep.
And this time, actually, you know what? Do this. Go back to the exact same spot, pitch 2 bumpers again, and bring her back all the way, because this time we're gonna stop her going out. Her heel work is really good. She's got good eyes with them. Her position's good. This time, yeah, bring her all the way back. And then halfway there, have that spot in mind, because you're going to try to stop her on that spot. So this is going to give you some practice with the idea of her tempo and pace going out and how long it takes to actually stop her. And the value in it and the importance of it is because if you're going to handle her to the right and left eventually, you need to be able to pace it, time it out so that wherever you stop her, she stops so that it's 90 degrees to where you want her to go. So if you want to stop her halfway, not quite probably a quarter of the way, but about 2/3 of the way to that halfway point is where you're going to stop her. And you're going to remember you're stopping her, so as soon as she spins around to look at you, you need to be hand up already, because if you stop her like this and then you put your hand up like this, I expect her to go back. So you're going to line her out just like you would if you were actually sending her to it. So make sure you're working on a good line from nose to tail to the dummy. Get out over the front of her, have her not watch you, have her look down the lane and commit to it before you send her. And then you're going to send her, and you're going to remember you're stopping her, 7 paces out. You're going to be hitting her with a whistle with your hand up. And then when she does turn around, you're going to pause, the exact same scenario that you just did with her on a stationary sit. Hand up, hand up.
Go in.
Good.
Good girl.
Good. Very good.
Good girl.
So you had a long pause. That was good. That was a great test for her. It was long for me. I was kind of on the edge of my seat, waiting. And she anticipated it and jumped, but she responded to you because you didn't, when she jumped on you, you went like that, which was good timing, and it caught her and she went, oh no, I wasn't supposed to go yet. I'm supposed to wait. So that was good. The one thing that you could have done there to keep her honest was as she turned to go, you could have said, beep, 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 beep. Get her to come to you and take a couple steps and then stop her again. And then send her back. But that was fine. She responded to it. It's just that could get a little messy when she's quartering actually away from you. Because what if you wanted her to go to the left? She'd have been really out of position. So the way to always reset them at a distance is just recall. Stop them, recall them, stop them again. And then they're facing you squared up. Now, I caught you, you blew the whistle, and then your hand went up. So as she was turning around, your hand was going up. So just be sure, just always have it in your mind. It's just something to think about ahead of time is, I'm going to stop the dog on the whistle here. So I need to make sure I got my hand up early before I hit the whistle, because when she stops, I want my hand up. I don't want motion at that point. So now you got a second dummy out there. So you can take a step towards it if you want. I don't like her line right now. I think she's lined a little bit to the right. So I might take a step there, and now I'm gonna line out. Whistle.
Oh.
That's all right. It's all right. Let her pick that one. Good girl.
Good girl.
You get it right in front of you. Command that delivery solid. Don't let her start fading on you. That's one thing that she does excellent. She probably has the best delivery of. Her delivery is probably nicer than my dog's. She's real crisp and solid in, but don't let her get in a habit of going around you, because I have it with Ellie right now and it just drives me nuts. And I didn't correct it early enough.
How do you correct it?
Keep
her in front?
Yeah, and so if you give her a little bit of tone and reminder as she's coming in, this is a habit of mine that I get into. And do I need to do it every time? Probably not, but I do it anyway. I used to get in the habit of whistling to them every time, and I don't know that I've faded that out a little bit. But let them do it if they're going to do it without the whistle. But when they come in, I don't think it's a bad habit to get into to remind them to hold. And usually when you remind them to hold, they flash back to that idea of sit and deliver. So as she comes in, just give her a hold, and she'll come right to you. Whereas if you don't say anything, that's when she's gonna have this circle around, go see him, show that off to that dog. I don't want that to even form, because she doesn't have it. Don't let it form now. So let's do this to keep it fresh. Let's turn, have you set up going that way. You don't have to go all the way to the fence. What I would do is this. Why don't you do this? Because this will stagger it a little bit, and it's more of like a ladder. Walk her all the way to the fence, go with one over the fence, no heel, come back, and about halfway there, drop another one, no heel, and bring her back. And then what we'll do is we'll have two to send for, and it'll just stagger out.
The second one?
Yep, so the second one will be shorter than the first. And then come to this, have the second one be kind of in line with the dog hut. So we got some significant difference in the distance. And then we're gonna walk this way just a little bit. You're gonna come to about here. And then the same thing, I can see the white dummy, halfway to it is where I want you to stop her. So you're probably gonna have to start your whistle right about in here with your hand up, and by the time she turns, she'll be halfway to it. And then you're gonna stop her, you're gonna pause, and then you're gonna send her back. And the thing about it with this now is she is probably, out of lots and lots of memories, gonna wanna run long for that one. I want her to pick the short one first. So when you send her back and she goes, if you see that her pace and tempo just blowing right by that one, hit the whistle again, right where she's at the dummy. So you're gonna have to make a judgment call if she needs a second whistle or not. If you think she's going to the first one, just let her go. If she's gonna run right past it because she thinks, I never find them here, I gotta go deep, stop her on the whistle again a second time. She'll spin and look at you. And then what I want you to do is go, that's gonna give her a hunt command. So she's gonna hunt that area and she'll look in that spot. So be ready for that. So we probably should have prepared you a little bit with the hunt command whistle, but So go through it and I'll be able to help you. Hand up. There you go. There. Perfect. Perfect. Bring her to you. There. Very nice.
Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it.
There. Very good. Now, put that dummy away and then take a couple steps back. We're just going to add a little bit of distance. That was really good. Your timing, you read it perfectly. You handled her really nicely. She responded really nicely. That was real nice teamwork. So turn her back around. Now this is the second one. It's going to be longer. She's going to have to run past the spot. She just picked one up. So you're going to be aware that that could be a little bit of a diversion for her and suck her to it. It could create some suction. So if she were to slow down and hesitate, I don't hesitate to remind her, go back, go back, go back. So that's the thing you want to look for in this. I don't think she probably will. She'll probably blow right through it and
Send her all the way?
Send her all the way, yep. So, but now, no. So send her all the way and stop her in the same spot. So before the hut, before the dog hut, stop her. We just added some distance to it. So she's going to get a little bit further away from you before you stop her. So your hand is going to be up before the whistle goes. And then you're going to pause and you're going to recall her if you need to, and then you're going to send her back. Hand up. Get your hand off your hip. There. Good. And don't hesitate to remind her that's good. Good girl.
Good girl. Come on.
Give her a little reminder of hold.
Hold it. Hold. Hold. Hold.
There. Stand straight up. There you go.
Hold.
I don't want you to be nervous by me saying don't let her get around you and all that. One thing I saw with you on that one was you were ready to catch her because I think you were ready for her to try it on you. And it's partially because she has so much momentum coming back. And so I don't think she will. We just need to remind her of it. And the best way to get her to not do it is not to get down like this to her. It's to stand even straighter up. Hold. And get that hand and bring the hand up. She'll follow it. Hold. So, but that was good. You caught yourself with the hand before blowing the whistle, stopping. You recalled her to square her up to you. That's a judgment call. And I don't mind doing it, especially early, to make sure you get precise. I usually get a little bit of a comfort level with them, and I'm okay with them being a little bit out of square later on, because I know if I have to, I can square them back up. But I think for you, it's perfectly good to square up every time and get in the habit of it, because it's just going to make it easier when we go right and left. So right and left, let's do this. So how do you feel about back? I mean, she's responding to you well. She understands what it means when you're clear. Don't get confusing with it. Don't stop the whistle and then throw the hand up. That's going to throw her off. Your tempo and your timing, you're just going to get used to it and get better at it with her. So let's do this. Turn around, pitch a dummy that way. Now tell her watch, and then heel her this way. So let's bring her over here. We'll put her right in the shade here. And have her face this way. Then you come this way. Now, for this, I don't want to do it facing her because I don't want to confuse her. But you're going to stop her the exact same way that you normally would. Then what you're going to do is you're going to come down real slow but steady. Not herky-jerky, just here, and you're down until you're about comfortable like this. And then what I want to do is start to lean. I'm gonna lean and give her, it's cheating. It's giving her a little bit of an idea of what's going on. I'm gonna lean, and then I'm gonna step out with my hand. And I'll step right out and I'll say, get out. Down slow.
Oh, good girl.
Down real dramatically slow, but steady paced. Stand real tall and remind her to hold. There. See how crisp that is? She almost scoots right in there and jumps right into that spot. That's what you want. When you get down, she gets a little bit almost like, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna play a game here? So I'm gonna, you stand there for a second with her. I'm gonna show you what it looks like. You're the dog. When I stop, it's gonna be this. Really slow, but steady. Then I'm gonna lean, get out. So when I stop this way, coming down real slow and steady to about here, get out. So don't come down real fast. Don't, it's gotta be, we want it to be nice and smooth. And you'll start to see her understand it, because you'll actually, when you come down with your right hand, she'll start to lean to the right. And that's when I know she knows it's coming. So that's important. So practice it on me. Pretend you're gonna send me that way. Come down real slow and pause, and pause. Yes. Lean out and step, yes. So come down and settle. Lean and then out. So make sure you got that. I think it's really important to come down, settle, and then go. Because you're gonna see her body language kind of go like this. And she's just holding her breath for you to go. So if you come down real fast, it's hard for her to register. And if she'll move quickly, and if she makes the wrong, part of the reason I go so slow is if she makes the wrong decision and goes the wrong way, if I'm going real deliberately slow and she starts to go the wrong way, I pause here and she goes the opposite, I can correct it. If I'm down here and moving, I don't give her, it's just too many things moving at the same time. So let's have you set it back up with her. Get her to heel with you.
Yep.
And then let's have you go the opposite way. This one you can put kind of in line with the dog hut, about that distance. Now the one thing about this, the way we're setting this up is, it's really hard for her to make a mistake, because we only are going one direction with one dummy. So I want this isn't really a drill for her, it's a drill for you to get comfortable with it. It's a drill for her to understand what it looks like when you do it. We want to make sure that it's 100% successful, real simply, before we start putting out multiple dummies, because as soon as we put out multiple dummies, now she's got a choice. And there's a potential she gets a reward for making the wrong choice if she gets to a dummy. So we're gonna do just real simple, one dummy at a time.
Oh.
Good.
Good girl.
Good. You can even be a little bit more slow and paused with it.
Hold. Hold.
You've gotten really comfortable being paused on her back command. I think as much or more paused for your handling left and right, and then get out. So let's have her sit right there. Let's do this. Have her sit facing this way. So heel her around this way to face that way. Yep. Okay. You come over here, Tom. Come right back to this spot. Let's have you throw a dummy that way. Throw it so that it's in line with her, so that it's a 90-degree turn for her. Perfect. Now, you're going to be left hand You're gonna be left hand up, stop whistle, come down nice and slow. Pause, and now get out. There.
Good girl.
That was perfect.
Hold it. Hold. Hold. Hold.
That cadence was really good, like spot on. And part of the reason too is because when you stop, when I tell you to stop, I want you to pause and then come down and pause, because I also want to give you an option. When you stop her and there's a dummy out to the right, you might end up going, go back, because you want her to go back instead of picking that one. So that's part of the reason why we're going to pause that. And when you come down to here, you still have a chance. You could go from here. If you go real fast, you only got one choice, you're going to the right. If you are paused, and she decides to anticipate or make a creep or do something, you also can go beep, 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 and recall her to you and start the whole thing over. So that's why I think the value and the importance of segmenting the cadence of it is important. Don't be super flowy in motion with it, because it just doesn't allow time for her to process it mentally. So spin her back around.
Sit.
We'll go back out here. We're going to throw one there and we're going to throw one here. And this is why that cadence is going to matter, because now we're going to have two dummies. And you're going to have to decide which one you want to send her to. So pitch one out to there to start out. Now pitch one over to this side. And again, make sure it's a 90-degree turn. Perfect. Now, which one do you want to send her to? Left or to the right?
Lean into the left, we'll take it to the right.
Okay, so you're up with the right, pause. Pause.
Oh,
Good.
girl.
Good girl. Good girl.
Hold, hold, hold.
Good.
Dad, good girl.
Good. Bring her back. We're going to set that up again. Good. Now you can pitch it out there if you want right now. Okay, good. Now let's go to the left with her. Down slow and pause.
Oh.
Good girl. Good girl.
Hold it. Hold. Hold. Hey, hey. Hold.
Good.
Hold. Dad.
Good grab there of her. Okay, let's bring her forward. We're gonna leave that one. Now what I want you to do, let's stop right here with her, spin her back around,
Yo.
have her sit.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna have you pitch a dummy out to the side. And now come back here, and I want you to throw a dummy up over the top of her. Throw it right up over the top. Now, that one's gonna be real tempting. And it's the last one. So, and it's a little bit to the side of her instead of being directly behind her, which is okay. She really wants that one. It's the freshest one in her memory. I wanted to send her to this one, but we're not going to. It's gonna be too difficult, too much for her to resist that one right now. For you, I want to make sure this is a win. So, and you can see she's smelling it. She goes, I know it's right there, Dad. So I want you to stop her with your left hand up. You're gonna hand off your hip. Come down slowly. Pause, and then you're gonna send left.
Oh.
Good girl. Good girl. So that was a good choice she made there.
Hold it. Hold it. Hold.
Good. Now, put that dummy. So now what I want you to do Just come back here for a second. So I want you to get squared up with that one, right about here. Turn back around towards it. I want you to have your hand ready with that dummy. So let's open this up completely so you can get at it real easy. I want you to be able to reach in there and pull that one out. So here's what you're gonna end up doing. You're gonna line out to that one. You're gonna stop her. You're gonna pick that dummy up with your left hand and throw it. She's gonna watch it down. And depending on how she is, I want her squared back up to you. So you're either gonna square her up to you by recalling and then stopping her again with your right hand, but you're gonna end up sending her back to pick that one up. So we're gonna end up lining her, stopping her, pitching out a diversion. The whole time your right hand is up. Pitch out the diversion. No. If she really looks like she's gonna go to it, no. If she doesn't, I don't know that she will, but you don't have to know her off of it. If she looks to you and goes, what do you want me to do? Go back. And we're gonna send her back to that. So we're gonna go back to the drill we just did with back and build it in now that we're doing some lefts and rights. So you're lining, stopping, stop her. Okay. So the amount of time before the whistle blew was too far. Yep, so let's reset it. Go back out there, pitch the dummy. Good. You can heel her back with you. Bring her back to you. Heel her to you. And I just saw her look over there. She's still got that one in her memory as well, which is good. So now I want you to line her out to it, but I want you to remember that that wasn't enough whistle to stop her. It wasn't quick enough to stop her. So stop her right about there. And if she stops short, that's fine. I'd rather have her be short than long. But we just can't let her get out to this one. Recall her. Stop. Pitch a dummy to your left. Reach in there. You got time. You're all right. Your right hand up. Come down slowly and then send her back. All right, she anticipated it. That's okay. She knew what was coming. Get her to you. Get her to you. Get her to you. Hey. Don't let her dawdle.
Hold. 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 Dead.
See how her eyes are to me after that correction? She heard me get on her. She went, Jesus, man. And she's looking to me, looking to me, looking to me. Okay, so that's good. Go pick that one up. Have her sit right here. And just go pick that one up. So that one, did you see how she just anticipated what you were gonna do? And she went too soon. So I'm okay with it right now for that scenario, but eventually no. Eventually it's gotta be crisper. So as she spun around, you were right here, and she went. And by the time she had turned around and was facing away, you said back. And so what I would do, what you need to do is see that possibly could come up. And so if that were to come up, if I were handling her like that and I stopped her and I came back and she went, I'd be beep! Before she even took the first, as she spun around, I'd be on the whistle. And then she'd stop and she'd go, oops. And then I'd recall her to me and I'd reset it. So that's just, I don't want you to do it there. I'm glad you didn't do it there. You didn't do it. I'm glad, because right now it's not about necessarily being super crisp with her. It's her getting to understand what you want her to do. She actually anticipated what you wanted her to do. She did everything right. She just did it too early. So now we've still got a dummy out there. So let's heel her back over here. And this is really going to test whether or not she believes your right hand cast means there's something there. So, and she won't be able to see it. So it kind of almost turns into a little bit of a blind. So let's stop. I think it's about in line right here. Yep. Let's spin her around. Stop her. Why don't you throw a dummy that way, because we're going to make her make a choice here. Now this time when you're going to face her, you're going to stop for just a second. I want there to be a bit of a pause. I want you to, when you're ready, I want you to right hand up, stop. I want a nice steady pause. You're going to come down, steady, pause, and you're going to be very clear, leaning to the right, stepping to the right, and saying, get out.
Get out.
Good.
Girl.
Now, she thinks that's okay. Now we're gonna see how far she goes. Call her to you. And when she gets in that area, you're gonna stop her. Call her to you. Call her to you again. Come on, here!
Here, Cody.
Here! Now when she gets in that area, Tom, I want you to stop her with your hands up. Right there, stop, stop! Hey, 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 hey! Hey! Cody!
Cody.
Sit! Now just let her think for a second. Because that was real blatantly, ah! Good. She smells it, she knows it's right there. So when you go to a hunt command, she's gonna be all over it, but I didn't want her to blow us off. Okay, so now what you're gonna do is, bud up, and she'll start to hunt. So hand up, blow your whistle solid, beep, and now a little hunt command, and you can just there you go, right there.
Bud up.
With
Bud up. Bud up. Good girl. Find it. There you go.
Good. So we're gonna work on the hunt drill whistle. Hold.
Hold it.
Good.
Good girl.
Good. Very good. Here. So that one got a little sticky, but we made it work. Now, what I didn't like was her denying your recall whistle. So one of the things you probably could have and maybe should have done is get her to stop. Because we were trying to recall her while she's on the move. So get her to stop. A solid blast to the whistle with your hand up. And as soon as she stops and looks at you, and she'd come. And then when she comes to you, it's beep. And then when she started to fade, that's when I got on her. That's enough. You gotta stop. So, but she smelled it. That was the reason why she wanted to continue to hunt. I wanted her to stop regardless of her smelling it. Then let her recollect herself. And then the hunt whistle, and we're gonna work on this with you, is so as soon as I did that, you saw her start to hunt. And so we'll work on that. But that's something you need to have in your toolbox so that when you get into those spots, you can give her that, okay, look right here. And really, that's what we're saying to her is, look right there. Look in that spot, look in that area, and work that little bit of cover. So let's pick this, sit. Let's have her sit. Now, I think the other thing about this is, as we get going, as we continue to get into this, she's getting a little warmer. It's getting a little bit warmer out for us. This is that's why I put her on remote sit. Just let her sit down and gather herself a little bit and start to remain with a good, clear mind. Because we're gonna start asking her to really make decisions. And if she decides if she's a little bit winded, a little bit hot, she starts to get sloppy. And that's where she's gonna make a bad decision. That's where we're gonna get frustrated and discouraged with her, because it's like she's almost like purposely not doing what we're asking her to do, and that's not the case. Good. Good. So you can come and get her and heel her back. And it's all this, like just putting the dog on a remote sit to just sit down for a second is just kind of a reboot. It's kind of a turn it off and turn it back on. And just kind of restart the system. Just get back dialed in, focused in. It's not asking her to do much, but it's a control thing. It's getting her kind of grounded back to zero. So let's see we got about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Let's do this. Let's go, have you go down to the end, drop a dummy, then drop another dummy. Put 2 of them down there. And, yeah.
Stay. Stay.
Because the last thing I think we're going to work on is we're going to send her back with diversions to the left or right. It'll be to the left here, but because I want to reinforce the back. I want that back to be really strong. So now that she knows that you know how to go left and right, and you might have that option to go left and right, we're going to send her back with a diversion out to the side, because I want her to go past that left and right and go back to get a reward. So let's leave her sit right there, have her square up this way. And you're just going to stand right about here. You're going to throw your dummy to the left. It's going to land. You can throw it, you can really chuck it out there. And you're going to be either your right hand or your left hand. I don't care, because back should be either one. And you're going to see how she just looked back. She knows what's coming. So one hand up, hand off your hip. Good. That was very good. You were very good on that. Real clear.
Hold.
Have a good delivery.
Hold. Hold.
Very nice.
Hold. Hold. That bird.
Okay, have her heel by you.
Heel. Heel.
Now I want you to take another dummy, throw it out there, kind of into the middle where that brown stuff is. I want you to line her to that and say no, heel, and heel her away from it. So line her and say no.
No. No.
And turn and take a step forward.
Heel.
And then line towards that one, straight out from you. Make sure her, now hold on. Look at your body, look at how your body, there. And then I want you to stop her when she gets in the shadows. So have her make her eyes go down the line.
Go on.
Hand up, hand up, hand up. Good.
Good girl.
Good girl. Very good. Good girl. Remind the hold, get a nice delivery.
Hold. 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 Good.
Very nice. Now, we're going to end it on that because that's real good. I mean, that's a nice little combination of multiple things. Get her to heel by you. But the one thing with that, so you got a little bit of a taste of no. No, leave it. No, leave it. Heel. And you know how important it is because you saw me screw up on it the other night with her. So you got a little bit of a taste. The hard part was, the hard part for that was I set you up for, you had to no, leave it, and then just turn, and that dummy's there. Where I like to, if I'm gonna start out doing that with a diversion bird, I'm gonna throw it out, I'm gonna no, leave it, and then I'm gonna turn, and I'm gonna be in between the dog. Makes it a lot easier on the dog. That was harder because she's on that side of the bird. You're not in between her, but that's okay. She did just fine. Your line was good the second time, but you notice, and I don't know why. Yeah, because you were thinking about, I think it was because we've added in a step here. We added this diversion thing in, and so instead of you getting into line her like this, you're lining her like this. That's going to make a difference. And what I didn't want to see happen was you just note her off of that bird, no, leave it, and she, now all of a sudden your positioning looks a lot different when you would have potentially sent her, and she might go, you know what, that means I gotta go for that one, just because it just looks different. So you need to practice it enough that it becomes just super natural of, you get in, it's just like shooting your bow or your gun. If you normally shoot like this with your left foot forward, and all of a sudden I say, stand with your right foot forward and shoot, boy, that feels funny. It's hard, it looks awkward, and it's gonna, your body language and how you set stuff up is really going to be influential on how she reads the scenario of what you want to do. So it's consistency. And look at her eyes. I mean, she's really dialed in. She has done what I thought. She comes back off of 3 or 4 days, probably a little bit more charged mentally, a little more dialed in to what we're doing right now. So now what I would do is I'd go pick those up and I'd leave her right here. I always want to end a session with her wanting more and under control. So we got her, she would love to go pick those up for us, but she's under control and she's not going to get those last ones. So when you're on the hunt, Tom, I don't think it's a bad idea. You shoot a bird and it falls 20 yards from you, dead as a doornail. I don't think it's a bad idea every so often to just go pick that one up yourself and have her watch. So that she just doesn't get sloppy to the idea that every bird is hers. She's got to stay wanting more and being under control, wanting more. Very nice. That was really good. That was a huge, huge improvement, I would say, for both of you off of last Friday. And it 100% has to do with two things. With her, it's just having her recharge a little bit. And with you, it's having you start to have a little bit of a sense of comfort for the lingo, the cadence, the physical motion parts of it. Just doing it a couple times, you're starting to get a feel for it. And it's clear. I mean, you were a lot better today than you were Friday. But Friday you weren't bad, you just didn't know what you were doing. So, how did you feel about it?
Well, it's a lot easier now that she's back being heel over here. A little tension with her.
Yeah.
So, and it's all, like you said, practice, practice, practice.
Right. I thought that was really good. What was real reassuring to me was when we asked her to make a decision, meaning you have some options here, but we want you to do this. Every time she did it. And your mannerism, your physical look of asking her to do it wasn't identical to mine, but it was close enough that she went, I'm pretty sure I know what to do here, and made a good decision. And the couple times that she did make decisions that weren't the best, she responded to it. Like, she went off and didn't come. That was a lesson for us. Don't try to recall her when she's on the hunt by simply going, it's not enough. So next time it's with a lot of emphasis, and she's gonna likely stop, not thinking she's gonna come back. She's gonna stop going, where should I go? And then say, come back to me. And then when she comes back, stop, and then hunt. And we'll work on the hunt command, the hunt whistle. We could do that. Do you have tennis balls in there? Any tennis balls? You probably could use a small feathered bumper too. Let's do this. Without her, just have your whistle. Now this is something that I really think you spend a lot of time in the truck, have your whistle in your truck, and just ride down the road with it practicing. So I almost when I do that cadence for hunt, I almost do it like if I were to take like my breath and try to make like warm breath. I'm almost going. Instead of, it's a lot, if it were a hose, the hose is a lot more open when I do that, where when I beep, 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 I choke that hose down and I really pop, 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 pop. This is more open, so it's more flow. So try that with your whistle. And you had it perfect, just end it with a dit, did it, did it, did it. There. Now, do it again. And you can put a stop in there. You can ba, bop, Up, up. You can stop the flow. It doesn't have to be steady. So let's take her, cover her eyes up, pitch that tennis ball into the cover. Yep.
I think she's got the body language down her.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she feels it. Now, we're just gonna wait a second. And then you can send her in there, and I send her in there, okay. I don't necessarily want to line her like it's a retrieve. I just want to, okay.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna let her work. Yeah, there you go. Ba, bop. And then as soon as she gets wind of it, stop there. Stop whistling now. So you see how second she got that wind of it? As soon as she gets it, I stop the whistle. And then I just let her do her thing. Hold. Good.
Hold. Dead bird.
Now, put the tennis ball away, but keep it handy. You're gonna send her back in there, and we're just gonna let her work. And we're not gonna blow the whistle, not gonna do anything, we're just gonna let her work.
Okay.
Just let her work. Don't even do the whistle for a second. Just let her go. I want her to work this whole core area. And then when I tell you, I'm gonna have you stop her with a stop whistle. And when she stops with a stop whistle, she's gonna look at you. I want you to have your hand up. You can use your left hand because you can dig in with your right. And then when she's looking at you, I want you to stop. And if we're gonna stop her, let's say over there, I want you to take the tennis ball and make it clear and pitch it in. But I don't want her to break. I want her to watch it in. And then I'm gonna have you give her a hunt whistle. And then you can get her to that. So we're gonna keep her hunting. And we're just gonna let her do her thing. Good. We can encourage it. Good. I don't want her to fade. There, nice little, take a little more ground, take a little more ground. I love it when they work close and then they start to take ground. Good. Good. And as soon as she gets on the other side of the tree, good. Go on. Go on. As soon as she gets over there, I'm gonna have you stop her with your left hand, but I want her on the other side of that tree. Good. 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 And go ahead and stop her. Now take the tennis ball and pitch it to that side, but don't let her break. Now get her eyes. Good. And then give her a hunt whistle and bring your... Good. Good. Good girl. Good girl. Very nice. That's a drill that you could work on at home real easily. And you could do that 2-3 times a day, couple short ones. Just get yourself a little pocket of cover and just do that hunt whistle with her. But practice in the truck. Bud-dat, bud-dat. And then build that into that little drill. And so the reason I like to do that, the value of that session, that last rep was, let her hunt, let her hunt, let her hunt. No, it's not here, but she didn't give up. Then I wanted her out there a ways, and it was stop to the whistle. And when she stops the whistle and looks at me crisply, there's a reward. There's the tennis ball. And when she sees it, she doesn't break. And then it cues off of the hunt whistle. Bud up. And then she goes to hunt, and she's gonna find it right away because it was just visually marked. But what I'm trying to do is get her, that's a good way to get her more responsive, quicker to the whistle. So when she's out at a distance and she hears that beep, turn around quick because sometimes he throws something. That's the idea of getting her to look back real quick, real sharp. The hunt part of it is not, the hunt part of it was before. The actual finding the tennis ball was easy because she saw it. But she's connecting that hunt whistle with the find really closely. So the hunt whistle becomes valuable to hunt the area because she found it right away. Instead of blowing the whistle, blowing the whistle, blowing the whistle and not finding it, it's blow the whistle, hunt, hunt, boom, you've got it. So I work that little hunt whistle to get her going in an area, and then once she does have wind of it, I stop blowing the whistle anymore, just let her finish it. So, but that's a drill that you can do with her that's fun, it's quick, she loves doing it. You can do it with a variety of ways. You can cover her eyes, you can send her in. You could send her in and let her hunt, and then sneak one in and let her find it after. You can do it a whole bunch of different ways. But that's a way for you to practice your hunt whistle too. But I would bring it with you in the truck. Good. So, really good session. Okay?
Sounds good.
I mean, backs, rights, and lefts with some options were crisp. And that's what's important, because I know she knows how to do it. It's a matter of her knowing how to do it when you ask her. That's all. And so that's our objective here in the next 10 days.